Welcome back to Storytime. In today's episode, we're going to be continuing our summertime theme with the prompt, a trio of friends are deep in the woods on a camping adventure. Having agreed to only use their phones for 1 hour a night in the evening, they switch them on to hundreds of notifications. They wind up their radio, and every station crackles with the same emergency broadcast. Today's story comes from user Me in a Nutshell. "Warning, the void is opened," said the radio, flickering between static and a barely bearable sound. The woods were dark, and the mist wall hollow. "The void?" I asked, confused, being surrounded by a layer of anxiety. "Probably a joke," John said before pausing, a pair of eyes tinted in a purple glow looming towards us. "What was that?" Thomas asked before something began dragging him into the darkness of the forest. Pine trees barely masked the unbearable screams we heard. "Run!" I screamed as we both ran into the darkness before suddenly the campfire burnt out, water dripping from the pine trees, those purple eyes still running in our direction. Suddenly the forest seemed to turn into spikes as trees collapsed due to something unseen, leaving spiked trunks behind it. The wind increased as more trees fell, snapping into spikes which could impale us if we didn't act carefully. We stopped, seeing an endless-looking pit in front of us. We ran around it, but suddenly John was violently grabbed from behind and suddenly being dragged into the darkness. It began to rain as I ran out of breath. Ahead of me lay the old house. It was cracked with planks across the windows. Surely I could hide. I opened the door and hid as the eyes drew closer, but they held some form of respect to the house as they did not try to touch it. I walked in. It seemingly was empty, abandoned except for the fireplace. A surprisingly large fire burnt, tinted by strange purple as if someone was burning salts. Above the fireplace was a picture of a happy family, 4 people, each smiling at the camera. It stood out as the only modern thing inside this relatively old-fashioned cabin. The bricks around the fireplace had faded into black ash. The creature continued to lurk outside, still staring with the clear intent to harm inside its eyes. It suddenly charged at the window, breaking through, clearly having only given me a feeling of safety before slaughtering me too. Suddenly, however, the room became overwhelmed in a tint of purple. A stream of blood flowed across the floor as a man walked out of the fire. I remained silent, hiding behind a table. The man was Thomas. His eyes suddenly surrounded in purple glow. "Where is he?" Thomas asked, his voice distorted by a wave of screaming. "There." The creature pointed directly at the table I was hiding under. The fire burnt out as Thomas walked towards me, his movement decaying into a limp. Thomas picked me up, raising me to his cold, purple eyes and casting his cold, mist-filled breath onto my neck. "Please," I cried as Thomas began to intensify his grip on my neck, not wanting him to choke me, but break my neck. However, before he succeeded, he suddenly dropped me on the floor. I felt a strange coldness drift over me, and in the corner of my eye I saw a shadow. Suddenly, someone's head flung upwards in my sight. I turned, revealing a cloaked figure who now held the headless corpse of the monster who had chased me. "I warned you time and time again," the cloaked figure said as the room became tinted in black and white light with a circle of purple casting through the gray line which should have lied there. Thomas suddenly spoke. "Who are you?" A mist of distortion laying over it. "My name is Chaos," the cloaked man said, seemingly floating in the static of the void and time. Suddenly, Chaos spontaneously appeared behind Thomas, now holding a strange staff. "Now, finally, die!" Chaos suddenly slashed the staff, which was coated in the purple lightning. It impacted Thomas, tearing him in half as I sat there crying, losing everything to the shadows, with nothing to bring them back. "Calm down," reaching for my hand. "Let me fix this," Chaos said, before it suddenly appeared in front of a truck. I looked up, seeing all my friends alive, setting up to camp. If you enjoyed that episode, go ahead and hit that like button. And for more of our Storytime Showcase, you can also subscribe for more stories every week. Until next time, see you later.